So about a week ago, I got recommended this old video from Russian. He made this back in 2022, and I saw it was a video called I Destroyed the Impossible Challenge by Chrrism. Now, I had totally forgotten what this actually was until I watched it. However, once I watched the video, I realized this would be great content for you guys. Not to mention, I feel this would actually get the community re-involved again in challenges like this. So if you don't know what this challenge is, it's basically bullying via Twitch chat and force Chrrism to do this. And I believe he only got to round 9, which speaks at how hard this is. And if you don't know what this is on the survival map farm. However, we are in custom games and we have some settings on. So Twitch chat decided it would be a great idea to turn on a few modifiers such as no magic, which means you have no perks, no mystery box, and no power-ups. And of course, this map doesn't have Pack-a-Punch, so it wouldn't even matter. To make matters worse, they decided to do no grenades and headshots only because why not? And if you wanted to make this even harder, guess what? It's only 2 wall buys on the entire map, which is the Olympia and the MP5. Galvanuckles don't work because they don't do headshot damage. So yeah, you know this is going to be a very, very good time. And like I said before, Chrrism only got to round 9. Another creator by the name of Apothos got to, I believe, round 20 and hasn't attempted the challenge since. And the video that Russian made got to round 22. Now, due to how annoying this challenge can be, I was honestly expecting this to maybe take me a few days worth of attempts, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. We start off really by just using the M1911 and just going for those headshots because again, melees don't work. And basically, we're just going to use the M1911 until either we run out of ammo and are forced to buy the Olympia, or we get 1750 points to open the door and actually acquire the MP5, which is what we will be using for the rest of the challenge. Thankfully, the MP5 is actually a very good, solid wall weapon and honestly has decent iron sights, though I do wish they were a bit less blocky, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, and for this challenge, I really need everything I can get. And also, thankfully, the early game actually isn't that bad. If you stand over here where I'm standing by the farm, it forces the zombies to spawn from the window directly in front of me and also in the actual barn location. I'm not sure why the window on the left doesn't cause zombie spawns, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. And we're basically just sitting here getting headshots over and over and over again until eventually we get overrun and we need to train. And one thing that I forgot to mention was the fact that hellhounds are also enabled, so thankfully we're able to actually have a break from the zombies every once in a while. And the strategy is extremely simple. Stand back like a little baby bitch and just hope that the dogs die in time, or else we're kind of screwed. Because honestly, those guys will maul you to death in 5 seconds if you're not careful. Thankfully, they are a 3-hit down, but still, it's just not a good look. Of course, our luck just so happened to run out by round 8, where the zombies were getting so powerful that I did need to eventually back out and train. And all we're gonna do this early on in the game is just run anywhere we possibly can. Zombie spawns are still so entirely inconsistent that I can't rely on anything. But hey, I guess it's more consistent than your father, so I guess there's that. Speaking of stuff your father should have done, I had to constantly repair windows in order to make sure that the zombie spawns could stay in the farm as long as possible. That is by far the safest area we can be in this entire challenge, and due to how random the spawns are in the actual farm area, I think once you stand in the middle, every single spawn in the map is activated, which just fuck off. And honestly, not much even happens after this point. It's just same old, same old. I updated my strategy a little bit to go through the barn because the zombies were getting too much health at this point, and it would force the zombies to spawn in the farm, so hey, it worked out both ways. But unfortunately, when I was doing my usual loop around, I got gang banged from behind and took a few back shots, and unfortunately, it was just too much for my little baby butt, and I died instantaneously. And honestly, for my first game on, this wasn't that bad. But of course, this led to the horrible realization that I had to get back there. And I died over and over and over and over again, and it took me like 5 minutes to figure out how to remove the fog because I just got annoyed looking at it. And full disclosure, from this point on, I decided to start my games on round 10, so if you think that's just not in the spirit of the challenge, go cry harder because I love your tears. That, and also I had another 10-hour shift the day following and I was just not gonna fucking deal with it. It was 8 a.m. It was 8 p.m. at this point and I had work at 4 a.m. I'm not dealing with your horse shit. And we just kept doing our thing through the rounds without even giving a damn. The only problem with this strategy that I'm currently rocking is how freaking slow it is. I'm not kidding. From the time that we started this recording session on round 16, the rest of this game, which in reality isn't even that long, took another hour and a half, I believe. But hey, I guess that's why we love Hellhound rounds. And guess what? That's on round 20. So once we're done with this, we have officially beaten Apothos. Sorry, Mr. Gamer Man, you're gonna have to try that over again. You know what I mean? And next up, we're gonna have to take down Russian. Now this could be a bit more difficult, but thankfully we only need to do 2 more rounds and we are actually gonna beat him. And while we're working our way up, I want to actually thank you all for the support recently, and I need your guys' help. I want to do more community-based challenges as well as just your hot takes and your reactions to stuff. So please comment your hot takes, your challenges is that you want me and my friends to do in the video. Whatever you guys want, I am up for it. I really want this channel to be more of a community-based thing, and once the new Call of Duty games come out, I am obviously going to do guides and such, but I want to be able to do stuff that you all want, and also it's stuff that I probably wouldn't have thought about anyway, so it makes me want to get back and invest time into the game that I love so much. But anyway, back to the challenge now. We are finally on round 22, and we're currently tied with Russian. Now, something I need to point out as well when it comes to this particular challenge is how frequently I'm needing to buy ammo. At this point, I'm probably needing to go back to the actual wall buy about 3 to 4 times every single round, and it's only going to go up exponentially from here on out. Thankfully though, at this point into the actual challenge, the zombie spawns are now so consistent that once I actually start the round at the farm and I do my strategy of killing them, there's pretty much no way they can spawn anywhere else around the map, unless of course the zombie's head comes off but they're still alive. Then I might get a straggler or two, but besides that, it's pretty much smooth sailing from here. And after about 7 or 8 minutes of the round going, yes, I'm not kidding, it takes that long even for round 22, we finally managed to get down to our last zombie and killed it, beating Russian's record, and now it's time to see how far we can actually push this challenge. I'm hoping to get to at least round 25 to secure my placement for at least the time being, but any further and I'll definitely take it. Sadly, I'm still on the time crunch due to the fact, again, I have work in the morning, and I honestly don't want to keep doing this to myself. Seriously, have you ever worked in a warehouse for 10 hours a day? Man, it can really wear on your feet and your mental. But aside from my questionable career choices, I also wanted to point out a separate strategy that I'm doing, is that I'm running the zombies through the fire. Now, if you don't know, for some reason, the lava actually reduces the maximum health of all zombies by 12%. Now, normally this wouldn't matter, but in this type of challenge, where you're using a fairly weak weapon, 12%, I mean, pretty much at this point can save you 5 or 6 shots, really actually speeding up the rounds quite a bit. Not only that, but when they're on fire, they just seem to explode once their head pops off, so I don't have to worry about any straggler zombies. But unfortunately, that's about where the last good of this challenge ends, and honestly, we're just gonna skip through some of these rounds until our next Hellhound round. And while we're doing that, I just want to tell you how long this challenge is taking. Round 23 took me just 7 minutes to do. 7 minutes, that is ridiculous. In any other game, it would take only about 3 to 4 minutes, if that. Round 24 took me 9 minutes. I mean, this is just getting ridiculous at this point. Shit, some of you wish you could last even a fraction of that amount of time, but hey, that's never gonna happen. But thankfully, salvation actually appeared on round 25 in the form of a Hellhound round. And these rounds take significantly shorter. It honestly is a great break. You know what? I take back what I said. Twitch chat, you're not too much of a bully. You're only slightly a bully, okay? Work on your attitude a little bit though. Please, love you. And I almost immediately regret saying that due to how mind-numbing the challenge gets after this point, okay? We're just gonna skip through the last 3 rounds, alrighty? Here we go, boys. Round 26 took me 10.5 minutes. How? Why would you do this to me? Who thought that this challenge was a good idea? I understand that Twitch chat has like a hive mind going on and they're all sadist, but come on, this is just awful. And yet somehow it gets even worse. On round 27, the round took me 14.5 minutes to complete. I could have gone to the store, gotten everything I needed for dinner, come back, made the damn thing, and then still have enough time to not have missed anything in the round. Seriously, this just isn't fun anymore. And I think my mind finally just decided to say fuck it, because on round 28, I decided to just try and do a faster strategy of just running around killing as many zombies as I could, because my brain was rotting so much, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And well, I'm pretty sure you guys can probably tell how that went. Unlucky. Well, you know, I'd say that's pretty good. And overall, I do think that round 28 is a very good round to end off on. Guys, thank you all so much if you watched to this part of the video. Make sure you all like and subscribe. Please, guys, tell me in the comment section, what challenges do you want? What's your hot takes? What's all that stuff? I want to interact with you guys and do videos about that as well. As for the challenge, go ahead and give it a whirl if you want to, but man, it is definitely a grind. And if you're looking for a challenge that's a bit on the easier side, this is definitely not what you're looking for. This is fairly difficult, very tedious. However, it's at least a simple challenge on a very simple map, so I guess there's not too much of a learning curve. Overall, for this particular challenge, I'm feeling a strong 5 to maybe a light 6 on this. So yeah, the Chrrism Impossible challenge forever.